Jigsaw puzzle? Hi, Mary. I haven't done a puzzle in a really long time. Have you heard of a game called The Witness? Maddie? Good morning, FX. Are you having a good Friday? Good morning, Darius. Wow, you're early today. 5 a.m. on a Saturday. Do you have anything to do today, Ethics? Is there any like obligations you have for this Saturday? Also, Maddie, The Witness is the closest thing to a puzzle that I've done in recent years. It's like a really complicated and frustrating puzzle game. It is rewarding and it is like mentally like weird. It's definitely one of those puzzle games where you'll kind of spend like sometimes 5 minutes on a puzzle and sometimes like 5 hours on a puzzle. But it's really rewarding when you get it. I mean, that's every puzzle is. But there's like a 3D space, like you're walking around an island, and there's like a lot of like, I don't know. I can't really talk about it too much without spoiling a lot of it, but it's not simply just a rifling through of puzzles. It's like there is like physical space and a reason for a lot of the puzzles, like opening doors and whatnot. I recommend it. It's hard because like I know a lot of people that play it or have played it and they've gotten too frustrated and looked up like online solutions to things. I never did that. I guess because I wanted that rewarding experience of having figured it out myself, but it definitely is a game that will take some time, a few days. Not something you can kind of run through in a day. Have you ever played the game Braid, Maddie? Good morning, Andrew. Oh, no way, you're a DJ Ethics? I was just about to say that Braid and Witness are made by the same person. So if you played and enjoyed Braid, you'd probably like The Witness too. If you want to play like a less challenging version of that developer's puzzles though, I would recommend maybe playing Braid. Andrew was wondering if I mix my songs. I do mix my songs, Andrew. I've been trying to get back into mixing lately, and it's been an uphill battle, says Andrew. Yeah, well, I've been mixing for years, and it's still an uphill battle. There are certain things that, of course, you understand the more you mix things, but you never kind of become a master of it. It's always kind of like a moving goalpost. You know, two songs are never mixed the same, so it is kind of a process. I've even talked about that to like professional mixers, people who mix other people's tracks for a living, and they say with every track, I mean, comes new challenges. So, don't be discouraged, Andrew. Good morning. Good morning, Dark Bro. Word up. It should be morning. It should be a morning medley. If it's afternoon wherever you are, I'm sorry, I missed it. It's raining. It's been raining pretty consistently here in LA for the past couple of days. It doesn't look like I'm going to see the sun today either, but hopefully sometime soon. This song is called Winter Heart. Oh, thank you for being in the stream, Mary. Hope you have a good rest of your workday. I didn't realize you were on break. Thanks, MLW. Can we use your songs in a game called Dance of Fire and Ice on Steam? All I do is make playable lifestyle. I'll discuss that with you outside of the stream, Darbro. Email me or something. It's more of a business question. How did you begin learning music on me? I got a keyboard. I just got a keyboard and started messing around with it like a toy. You know what's weird, Maddie? I don't have any rain-themed music. I have a lot of music based around spring. And even, I guess, Winter Heart is based around winter, but not necessarily rain. Maybe I should write a rain song. It's just not something that happens so often in, oh, Downtown Drizzle. Whoa, Dark Bro. Dark Bro is right. I do have a song centered around rain. The thing that's funny about Downtown Drizzle, though, is that Downtown Drizzle wasn't written about real rain. I don't want to get into why I wrote Downtown Drizzle, but it's not based in reality. a lot of Nice Dream isn't. If you listen to Nice Dream, like Jolly Pop and Bon Bon, a lot of these are like fantasy songs. A lot of these songs weren't exactly inspired by like real life events, like say Signals and all of my music post Love Dream was. Actually, one can make the argument that Love Dream was based on real events. That's so many. Hey, Dark Bro, have you listened to Daydream by any chance? Hello, Lindsay. It is good today. It's kind of cold. played vanilla that way, Lindsay. Oh, word up, Dark Row. So you've heard part of it. Oh, hello, Annabelle. Wow. A vanilla EP. You know, I almost did that with Sixella. If you're familiar with the song Sixella, I almost made a small EP just out of variations of Sixella. Um, I think the reason I'm playing songs that way is because it's raining. I didn't realize how much the weather had an effect on my playing because it's so often sunny here. Not a fan of this. But I'm glad that I gave you a weirder version of vanilla, Lindsay. Hello, Isadora. Good morning. Isadora has started quarantine. The first day of quarantine is always the hardest. Who told me that? Somebody told me that pretty recently. They were living in Korea, though. Or at least they were being quarantined in Korea. I hope you're doing well, Isadora, and I hope you're healthy. That's what's important. That's good, Isadora. Yesterday I watched the entire second and third season of Castlevania. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. I'm gonna have to remember how to play that version then for you. I hope that that's not the first and last time you hear it. Improv's weird that way. Improv is very strange. You kind of just play stuff as you're feeling it, but you're not really that aware of every single note you're hitting, or what the rhythm or speed or cadences are. Sometimes even what the chords are. The chord progression like this one. Whenever I play that one, it's supposed to just go. But I usually end up adding a bunch of other chords in. I think it changes, or other notes in. I think it changes the chords slightly. Andrew lives in Canada. In the U.S., no quarantines in California anyway. The U.S. is very big, so I'm not exactly sure what is happening in every single other state. But as far as here in California, or more specifically here in Los Angeles, California, there's been no quarantine. There actually isn't even that big of a difference. The subway's still packed full of people. Restaurants are still very packed. The only big difference I can think of in Southern California is that Disneyland closes tomorrow for a month. And this is like, I guess since it's been built, this is only like the fourth time it's closed or something wild like that. So I guess that's a big deal. But I mean, Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what else is happening. Hmm. That sounds about right, Lindsay. Do I feel good? I don't know. Well, we all hope that you'll be okay, Lindsay. Ooh, what's this song called? Woo! Oh, sorry. I shouldn't add sound effects while I'm playing the piano. Keep those in my head. What's the difference? You gotta play it higher. Mm. 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 Okay, this smoothie's actually starting to make me cold now. Mm. Thanks, Maddie. Um, I'm trying to write. I'm trying to write more traditional chord progressions. And I feel like that's a very basic one. And so writing around that. I just need like a good melody to put on top of it, you know? Because when I'm thinking about like really simple chord progressions, when I make your smoothie, everything but the apple juice is frozen. Does that make the texture too icy? Well, yes, I guess. Yes, I suppose. Like if you put, there's so many different ways to make a smoothie, right? I guess one way to make a smoothie is to drop in fresh fruit into a thing, and it'll blend the thing. And there's a lot of water in fruit, right? Fruit are like something wild, like 90% water. So if you drop like a bunch of fruit into fresh fruit into a blender, you'll get kind of like a juice. It'll be more like a juice, like naked juice. If you're familiar with naked juice, or like if you're not, just like a smoothie drink you would buy in a store. Um, but if you freeze all of the ingredients and then you put in yogurt, it gives it kind of like a creamy texture. But yeah, since I freeze everything, including the yogurt, if I would put all that stuff in the blender, I think it's hard on the motor inside of the blender. It's having to do so much work. It's like it's just all solids. Having a little bit, even if you're only putting like a tablespoon well, maybe more than that. If you're putting like a fourth cup of liquid, even if it's like water, into the mix, it's easier on the blades. So I just do that to. I usually do that just to prolong the life of my blender. I don't freeze the apple juice, but also yeah, it makes it a little bit more creamy, I guess. Creamy. I don't like the word cream when talking about smoothies. I'd say it makes it drinkable with a straw. Like the difference between soft serve and whatever that ice cream that's not soft serve is called, hard serve. Yeah. Making it all frozen won't burn out the bullet as long as you have juice mixed in with it. You know, as long as you got juice mixed in with it. Can't wait for smoothies in the summer, says Isadora. Yeah, since LA doesn't really experience a true winter, I kind of am able to have smoothies year round. However, I do feel like I should mention that in the morning, usually I'll make my smoothie right after a workout. So like, you know how even if it's cold outside, after you work out, you do kind of feel hot on the inside? That's the only reason I'm able to do smoothies. What I used to do is I used to be a big tea person, and I would always brew a fresh thing of tea every morning during the winter. This last winter, 2019, was the first winter that I stopped doing that. Part of the reason I did that is because tea kills my appetite. So what would happen is I would have tea first thing in the morning, and then I wouldn't end up getting hungry until around 2 p.m., which wasn't good for me. Although it was really good if you're fasting, I guess. But I'm not doing that. Hello, Moped Man. Moped says, do a sad song about Corona. No, thank you. But I was just playing a sad song earlier. I can flesh out that song a little bit, but it's probably not going to be about Corona. I don't know what that song's about yet. Green tea, says Darko. Yeah, I would do a lot of green and black tea. Hello, Gatornade. Welcome to the stream. Lindsay says tea kills your appetite. Yeah. I think caffeine in high doses kills my appetite. I've heard that it does the exact opposite for a lot of people. A lot of people will have tea or coffee and they'll get hungry. But I've talked to a few people that have had my reaction too. People are like, yeah, I just have coffee in the morning on the way to work, and then I usually don't eat until lunch. And I'm like, yeah, I do that same thing just with tea. I'll usually have tea, and I think just all of maybe the caffeine gives me enough energy, fake energy, mind you, but energy nonetheless to kind of burn through the day. Yeah, so with flight plan is a very simple chord progression. It's wait, it's that, and then it's very simple. But the melody on top of it makes the song. And so I was thinking about taking this very simple chord progression and putting a melody on top of it that drove it. Because even with stuff like Liana's Double Lutz, the song is driven by melody. And I don't really like songs anymore driven by chord progressions. If you listen to stuff like Chaser, that whole song is driven by a chord progression. There's no melody on top of it. And so for this one, I don't want this one to be driven by chord progression because the chord progression is so basic and execution, I guess is the right word. I have to make it go somewhere else after that. I have to make it go somewhere else because that sounds too similar to something I've definitely heard before. I finally figured out what song your sad piano is. Axel? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Axel Never? Word up. I don't know exactly what you're saying. You figured out what chord progression this is? Is that what you're saying? Because there's a lot of songs that have that chord progression. Dark Road. There's, I don't know, thousands. There's a Joe Hisaishi song that has that chord progression. There's another Joe Hisaishi song that has that chord progression from Princess Mononoke. There's also, I mean, I'm only naming Japanese composers, but there's also some pop ones. There's a really funny video where it's like, here's the most overused pop chord progression, and it is the chord progression I'm playing right now. Just moved it down, but yeah, it's very simple. So something like the score to a Studio Ghibli film, they use very basic, bland chord progressions. The I guess what's the word I'm using? Want to use the defining characteristic of Joe Hisaishi's music is not the chord progressions or even necessarily the melody. It's the composition, the arrangement. If you were to play a Joe Hisaishi song on acoustic guitar, just like filling out the chords, it wouldn't sound particularly amazing or groundbreaking. I think a lot of his music lives and dies in its arrangements. And so that's something that I've been trying to, not necessarily because of him, but it's just something that I've been trying to get better at as a composer myself. Is like a lot of times I will lean on a chord progression being somewhat unique. Like I played it already, but the Chaser chord progression. Songs that the mind will immediately jump to, like, oh, you know what that sounds like? You know what that chord progression sounds like? And so I would try to come up with chord progressions or melodies that were like a little bit weirder, a little more unique. But now I'm trying to specifically pick chord progressions that are not unique, that have been used a bunch of times, and try to make those chord progressions with the melody being here. That is also very, very typical of a chord progression like that. And so I'm trying to expand on that arrangement to make it more of something I would play, something that I would write, and not just kind of like an auto-generated chord progression. Hmm. Well, I hope whatever may happen, Maddie, I hope you still get to see him at the concert hall. Hmm. I imagine it's very good. There's so much I can learn. Wow. You know, these more recent streams have been just kind of burning by, and I think it's because we've had so many interesting topics in them. I haven't even had to go over to Free Loops and show off any projects. Burroughs is talking to me about Jolt Jacket. Yes, yes, yes. Jolt Jacket has been in the ether for a very, very long time, Burroughs. I like those songs a lot. I hope that you end up liking them too. I was there for a lot of the making of those songs. I actually wrote one of them. Anywho, Lindsay says, "Oh shoot, you're in Seattle, Maddie? Ah, Seattle. America's right shoulder." I think that was why I was talking about Seattle recently. When I was talking about Dick's Burgers, I think it was because of Maddie, actually. But welcome back, Burrows. Sorry I didn't give you a proper welcome back. Welcome back to the fold. I hope everything is going well with you and that you are having a marvelous Friday. I hope it's not as... Well, I can do something with this Friday. I can do something today. I'm going to try to get out of the house today. Yesterday killed me. So let's not let that happen again. Hello, Tom Wayne. It's Womtang! Oh, whoa! How you doing? Oh my goodness! I thought I'd never see you again. How are you? Wow. What was the hardest song you've made? Asked Darkrow. Darkrow, that is a really good question. It's a really good question, but the answer is going to be a lot longer than maybe you anticipated, because there is no one answer to that question. Hardest song. I don't think it's superlative, so I'm just going to grab a handful of songs that were hard to make for different reasons. Amnesia was a very hard song to make, if you've heard my song Amnesia. So the hard part about that song was not the chord progression, but it was very hard to make because lyrically that song is very upsetting. And it was very upsetting for me to write it. And it was also upsetting for me to release it. Usually I have a lot of songs that'll have very, very revealing and vulnerable lyrics, and then I'll go back over them later when it comes time to mix the song. And I'll change the lyrics to be something that's a little bit more vague and innocuous. But I didn't do that for Amnesia. I just released it as it was. Which was very difficult at the time, because after I released it, I expectedly got a lot of questions about it. Questions that I didn't necessarily want to answer. Bro says, "My bad guys, sorry I haven't been around. I've been taking a break from the internet." Very smart. That's good. We should all probably do that. Of course, I can't because I have a stream, but you all should probably do that at some point. Thank you, Rose, for putting your health in front of social media. I wish more people would do that. Oh boy. So back to your question, Dark Row. Amnesia, lyrically, was very hard to write. What's another song that was also very difficult to make? If you've heard my song with Ayo Robo, that song called One Slash Million, that song was very, very hard to make. It took a very long time because me and Ehi have two very, very different writing processes. Ehi's writing process is way more intentional and specific. He wants specific sounds, and he knows exactly what he wants the song to sound like in his head. While my writing process is a lot more fast, loose. I keep mistakes in my songs. I make the mistakes the song. If I'm trying to play a chord progression and my finger slips, and I'm like, oh, that chord's kind of nice. How can I work that into it? That's a lot of my um, music and process. It's very free form, all over the place. While Ehi is way more focused, which is kind of funny because I think that our physical appearances contradict our creative process. Because Ehi is a lot more wild as far as fashion, while as I'm pretty much, button ups and bow ties. But that song was very difficult to make, Dark Road, because the collaboration between me and Ehi takes a very, very long time because of our different creative processes. So to make One Slash Million, that song took a year or well over to actually make that song. Even though it's 3 minutes 20 seconds roughly, but that song did take a long time to make. Another song that was very, very difficult to make um, hmm, was Double Lutz. And Double Lutz is still pretty difficult to me occasionally when I'm playing it. I have to pay attention, Dark Row. I can't usually carry on the conversation while I'm playing that song because uh, Double Lutz has what I know now is called a modulation, but I'm not really going to use that term much in the stream. Um, I'll just say I move it up. So I take the entirety of the song and I move it up at the very end. Now, while what you just heard sounds like the same exact thing, just played higher, it's very easy for our minds and our ears to recognize and identify that. However, playing it with your fingers is not as simple as just taking your hands and moving them here and playing the same exact thing. Notes are arranged in a way that maybe if you're familiar with a keyboard, Dark Row, it's not very uniform. Um, so taking that and playing it up here is very, very difficult for me. And it has been a challenge, an ongoing challenge. Granted, a decreasing challenge, but still a very present challenge playing that song. Another song that was very difficult to make was my song Shoto Clone. If you listen to Shoto Clone, which is on Daydream, I know you haven't heard it because I asked you earlier if you had listened to Daydream, and you told me that you had only listened to one song from Daydream, which was the first song. Shoto Clone is somewhere around the middle of that EP, and that song was very difficult for me to make because it's very percussion heavy, which at the time was admittedly my weakest skill. Arranging and programming drums has always been something that I've kind of shied away from because it's not as fun for me as playing piano and coming up with chords and melodies, things that I can hum. Rhythm and percussion doesn't come very easy for me. So Shoto Clone took a lot of time. If you listen to Shoto Clone, there's a lot of things that I do in Shoto Clone that aren't necessarily indicative of my style, which is a lot of fast and haphazard percussion. Also, I use 808s in that song, which I think I've used in my entire music career. I think I've used 808s like 10 times, which when you consider the fact that I have over 200 songs is not a lot of times at all. So my 808 play is still very, very much in its infancy. And so when I used them in that song, it was very difficult for me to mix 808s. They're a very odd sonic character in music, and tuning them. It's a whole thing. So it was also very hard making Shoto Clone Dark Row. It was also very hard making Shoto Clone. It's another song that was difficult to make. The long and short of it, Darkrow, you asked what my hardest song was to make, and I know you wanted a very neat answer like, oh, it was Fight Plan. That is the most hard song I've ever made. But as I mentioned earlier, Darkrow, I have hundreds of songs. And so sometimes it's even hard for me to pick out what is the hardest or the easiest or the happiest or the longest or the saddest or the shortest. It's just really hard to have superlatives. Um, but yeah, a lot of them are very hard to make. I would say I would say no body of work I've ever made was easy. Maybe Chiptune. Chiptune was pretty easy for me. But even when you listen to stuff that's very, very bare bones, like Lush Dream, it was actually very difficult for me to make Lush Dream because Lush Dream was maybe the most difficult exercise and restraint that I've ever had to deal with in music writing. Being able to listen to a song that is very, very simple and go, yeah, this song is finished. This song is done. Is a skill that I still haven't yet honed, but it was one that I tried to exercise and improve in the making and releasing of Lush Dream, which was very bare bones music. That was a very long answer. We automated. Improving the point that I just made before playing the song. Did Curse Mark make it? can't do that. That's a Donkey Kong song, you idiot. That's a Donkey Kong song, guys. That's that's like Brambles or whatever. It's the underwater level music. That's so whack. That's a Donkey Kong song. Word up. See, even the Donkey Kong song uses that same chord progression. The point that I'm making, guys, is that chord progression is used like a million times by every composer since, I don't know, the sun was invented. So it's really hard to make that chord progression sound not like every other song. And people like, I think his name is David Wise. Dave Wise, the guy who made the Donkey Kong song. The Donkey Kong song. The guy who made that song made it sound unique, right? I can hear the melody when I'm playing it in my head, and then somebody, Joe Hisashi, made it sound unique. Even like city pop producers made it sound unique. So I think my biggest challenge right now, Dark Road, this relates back to what we were talking about as very difficult songs to make, is to take this chord progression and make it sound unique. And I tried doing voice leading, which is this. But it's too close to Donkey Kong. So I'm going to have to figure out some other way to do it. But this is exciting. Bye, Tom. Thank you for being on the stream. Appreciate you. It was nice to see you again, too, by the way. Whew. Make an Omniboy Discord, says Bros. Ooh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that thing you just asked me to do, but thank you for making a suggestion. I do not like Discord. I do not like Discord, even a little bit. So if I made an Omniboy Discord, I would never be in it. Ooh, I do like that chord. Why? Why do I like that chord? What is that, by the way? There's so much I don't know. There's so much I don't know. Oh, I just figured out what it is. Nope, I didn't. Sorry. False alarm. Oh my god. What is that? See? There it is. That's beautiful, actually. The more you know, huh? I guess the more you don't know, in my case. I use Discord all the time. It's a nice place to chill with friends. Yeah, I think that I just don't. I like having very specific time to chill with friends, if that makes sense. To me, the stream feels like a hangout with friends. Discord feels like my front door and my windows are open, and people can just climb in whenever they want and bother me. Which makes me sound like a curmudgeon. I know. But, yeah, no Discord for me. No Omniboy Discord, please. Please. Lindsay hopes she's as cool as Izzy when she's Izzy. You know, I think, oh wait, okay, so Cypher says, honestly, I mean, if you want to make it invite only, and that's an option. Some of the best Discords I've been are invite only. The problem is, it's ever present. if I wanted a Discord, I would want the Discord to only be open for roughly an hour a day, and that's all I want. That's all the time. I don't want any more than an hour a day, and that's what this is. Except this was cooler because I get to sit down and play music, which is the only thing I really want to do. So, I don't know. I don't know. Whoa, Izzy's here. Izzy, you're consistently an hour late, which I think that I'm not. Oh, wow, that sounded so mean. No, I don't know if you remember Izzy, but do you remember when I was in Instagram stream still, and the 57-minute hit mark would hit. The 57-minute mark would hit. That sometimes he would come in, and I would always be so sad because I couldn't go over the hour stream, Izzy. Um, I couldn't go over the hour stream. Instagram just automatically ends it at an hour, and I would be so sad. Now, of course, I can go over it. Actually, I'm over right now. I'm over right now. But if this were Instagram, you wouldn't see me. Oh, what? I'm not saying Isidora's chats either. Is Isidora saying anything? If she is, I'm not saying it. Oh, I'm talking about Izzy. Like Ari of Sixth Street's Izzy. Oh my god. No, Cyber, yeah, you're right. I caught it right after Cyber did. Izzy. Not easy. Something I learned is that whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I learned. Guys, this is morning medley number 92. We're gonna hit 100. Not next week. Not next week, sorry. But the week after that we're gonna hit 100. And then I will expire. I will withdraw into a husk of a former musician. And then you guys can enjoy all of the unreleased music that's going to come out posthumously at that point. It is Friday the 13th. That's pretty dope. God, I love that chord. That one. If I could just make that chord a whole song. Ugh. I love the weird chords that don't really mean anything, you know? Like chords like that or that chord. Or that chord. Wow. This chord and that chord. This chord and that chord I love. Ooh, so pretty. Those are the same chord actually. It's just the same chord moved down. How about that? That's kind of funny, huh? I'm the only one that gets a kick out of this stuff. I'm sorry, guys. But I do really like that chord a lot. It's really pretty. Lindsay's asking what everybody defines porridge as. I've actually never had porridge, so I don't feel like I'm qualified to participate in this conversation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Burrows. Yeah, I mean, I'm here every morning at 9 a.m., Burrows, if you ever want to come back to a stream. But if not, I understand. I've never had porridge either, says Izzy. Isn't oatmeal technically porridge, says Maddie. Uh-oh. I already see what type of hole this stream is going into now. I'm not going to get into it, but I have had oatmeal before. I think that porridge just isn't really an American term. It's more of a British term. I feel like British people say porridge, and people in the UK just say porridge to define things that we here in the States don't really say for porridge. You know? If that makes sense. It's kind of like the soup argument of like ramen being soup. I'm not going to get into the weird, like, I can't remember who brought up the whole like cereal soup thing, but like the ramen being soup, it's like, I think it's just a cultural word. And so I might not consider something porridge, but not because it's not necessarily, it's just never going to stop raining, is it? This is ridiculous. But not because it's not porridge, just because culturally that's not like really a term that I go to, you know? You know? I don't know. Yeah, whenever I think of the porridge thing, Dark Row, right? I think of Oliver Twist, that scene from Oliver Twist, and I'm like, it is a very British thing. Like, we don't call our kitchens over here porridge kitchens, we call them soup kitchens, you know? They're giving out soup. Not necessarily to say that it's the same exact substance they're doling out, but no, I just don't use porridge really when it comes to terminology. But I know that um, something that I've eaten has to, at some point in my life, been considered porridge by somebody. Yes, Goldilocks. No, that's fair, Lindsay. That's fair. That's fair. Wow. Can't even see the mountains today. Truly a sad day. I'm so sorry, guys. You know what it is? It's the little seeds on the strawberries. Sometimes I just get caught in my throat and I cough a lot. I've said I've watched back on streams where I start coughing and I already look so small and like frail in the stream with like the big keyboard and it's like little me, and so when I start coughing it's really an awful visual. It's just awful. I look very sick and I apologize for that. I wanted to have a production stream today, but I chose against it. Because I figured it was Friday and everybody was going to be doing their own thing, and now I have streamed for over an hour, so I don't want to tack on a production stream on top of an already too long stream. So I will not be doing that today. Oh, what a sweet thing to say, Cyber. Thank you. Also, I can't find my glasses. That's why I'm wearing my clear ones today. I can't find my black ones. I don't know what happened. Yesterday was very sad. I think I might have thrown them away. Okay. Ooh. That's there's a developer of mobile games that when their logo pops up on the screen, it does that. Yeah, I can hear it. Now I found the notes that did it on accident. It's kind of funny. Anyways, oh my god, Dark Row knows what game I was talking about. It is Clash of Clans. Wow, Dark Row. You know, I think that I always have like a moment with everybody in the stream. There's always a moment. Everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn where I'll be like kind of stranded out in an ocean thinking about something that I think is completely unrelatable, and then somebody in the stream will be like, "Yeah, I know what thing you're talking about. I even know the name of it." And me and Dark Row haven't had a moment like that yet, but word up, Dark Row. It is Clash of Clans. When you start up Clash of Clans, it does that. That's so funny. I think I've also had a moment like that with Liana. Oh, it's raining harder now. And Cyber, and Lindsay, and Easydora. I can't. It's just brambles. Oh, wait, I think I might have found it. up into that one. Oh, so you start down here. You start down. That is weird and hard, but I mean, music is weird and hard, right? Anyways, I should probably start wrapping up. Guys, I have a new song out now called. Yeah, I'll write this song in my own free time. Oh crap! Sorry, Cyber. Is this new composition? Seems like you found your music again. No, I did not find my music again. I simply am using a very, very typical chord progression. I'm trying to not make it sound like Princess Mononoke or Donkey Kong. What every composer does. Just trying not to sound like Donkey Kong or Princess Mononoke. Goodness. Yeah, I know when my time has come. Usually when I kind of fall into just like composition mode, and the chat kind of devolves into just being a chat that's like no relevance to anything I'm doing. When the two things I diverge, that is when the stream is over. So, real quick news. I do have a new single out. It's called The View. It's about driving around in a car and being sad. Go listen to it, please. I do love that song. It took a long time to write it. There's a whole story about how it became the song that it is now, from initially being a song that was going to take place in season 2 of Speed Dream. Very exciting. I also have 2 new bodies of work out. One is called Ego Death, the other one is called Quick Breath. I think when Bro Rose was in the stream for a while, they said that they only just recently gotten around to listening to them since they were taking a break from the internet. So that's kind of nice to know that the EPs are indeed still new to most people. That's it. That's it. Ego Death and Quick Breath. You can find them on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube, which is what we're on right now. I recorded a video for Hush Hour, and also recorded a video for Into Thin Air, which are like my 2, I guess, most recent like classical things. If you are on YouTube and want to see videos that I've made, also, I probably should try to remember not to forget mentioning when I've uploaded a new video yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't remember, but in the recent past, I uploaded a remix to Justin Bieber's "Yummy," and I kind of didn't tell anybody. I just kind of put it up. That's my problem sometimes. I put up things and I always feel like I'm annoying people. So I usually don't tell people when I'm doing things. I'm like, I've already posted about that show 3 times. I shouldn't post about it a 4th time. But I mean, unfortunately, that's the only way people are going to know when I've done something, is by me talking about it constantly. So I did upload a new video. It's a remix to Justin Bieber's "Yummy." I'm not going to be releasing it on Spotify or anything. I just thought it would be a fun little project to get the creative juices flowing again. What else is there? I have t-shirt and stickers coming out at some point this year. Also, as far as tour dates and shows, we all know how the state of the country and world is right now. So there's no tour dates to announce. There's no show dates to announce. Just me chilling, doing my thing. yeah, that's it. That's it. Also, the streams do happen every weekday at 9 a.m. Today is Friday, so this is the last stream of the week. This is Morning Medley number 92. Um, Cyber suggested that once we get to 100, I can start. It would be nice to have a production stream because then I would have like built up a bunch of stuff that I've worked on. However, these past few days and weeks, I haven't really been super productive. Um, just a lot going on, so I haven't been super productive. But I think that having production streams could be fun, could be good. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that because obviously if I want to do a proper production stream, I could run something like OBS, so it's like an actual, screenshot image of my Fruity Loops rig, my setup, and then like I can have it set up like that. Obviously, running it with just the phone can be kind of janky in times like these trying times. So I haven't figured out exactly what the production stream is going to look like, but we will figure it out. We'll figure it out day by day. Thank you all for being in the stream all the time. I know I haven't gotten to Hush Hour yet, but I feel like I want to thank you first. I talked about doing thank you, Cyber. That's a ticket. That's a ticket to the Omni Boy show. I talked about in the last stream doing variations of Hush Hour. Now this won't be a regular thing, but Hush Hour's arrangement is pretty short and pretty basic, and I thought it would be fun for me, and maybe not boring for everybody else in the stream if I had variations on Hush Hour. So this is one. Wish I had put more complicated chords in this song. It sounds much nicer with crunchy chords. I hope you enjoy your lunch, Cyber. Thank you everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. It's the internet, so people aren't really doing that a lot. And so I appreciate that. I'll see you guys on Monday for Morning Medley number 93 at 9 a.m. Jesus Christ. We're really racking them up, huh? Alright, Apple everybody. It's breakfast time. Mm-hmm.